Okay, it's 4:20 and time to work on the BoneDaddy cars. I don't know quite what I'm going to do today. I've got so many different ideas. Let's see what we got going on here. Kind of halfway got an idea for this one. Got the scarecrow. He's badass. Alright. Tacky glue's good stuff. Okay. Evil bunnies. Let's see if I can back some light off here. Pink glowing eyes. Let's see if we see evil pink glowing eyes. Get back there. Evil bunny's eating his brains. Get in there. There's one at his throat. Yeah, that works. One eating here. Will this one fit here? Maybe. May have to move you a little bit, Scarecrow. I want this bunny to eat his brains. Yeah, they can both feast on his brains. That one's going to get his side. Go for his guts. Okay. Okay. Evil bunnies. Oh, skull. Guts to see you. Alright, another skull in there. These came from Dollar General. They were originally a skeleton necklace with bones. I try to keep this bottle upside down so it's ready to go, but sometimes we just can't have what we want. I don't know where I'm going to set it. Skull there, okay. Oh, more skulls! We need more skulls. What's in here? Oh, piece parts. Box of goodies. Gonna have some real disgusting stuff here after a while. Yes. Papaya Punch Bliss. If only that's what was in it. Okay. Couple of bones. We got another skull. Okay, that's all we need. Alrighty. Demon bunnies eating him alive as the scarecrow puts the hex on him. Pretty cool. Okay, enough for that dementia. We shall let that dry. Next. One thing I love about this tacky glue is you can remove it off of the things that you put it on. Might want to dump these screws out of here first. This is a nice bottle to keep little screws in though. This is the poison car. Oh no, too much. Alright, thank you very much. A little bit right there. This one was just a little too easy. A little too easy, a little too simple. A poison car. I love that tacky glue. Look at that. Well, that's heavy, but you know. That's amazing. It's that quick. for white glue. Good stuff. Okay, that's 2 cars. Oh, this is cool. When they make those necklaces, they fuse them together at one point. It makes a cool little skeleton scepter. Somebody's going to have that. Dude here might have it. Lord over the skeletons. Lord of the skeletons. Oh, look at that. A little bliss. It's 420. Mixing it up today. Have a little 420 juice and a little 420 green. Okay, now in this box of goodies, I have all sorts of things that are scary. We've got, of course, the jar of skulls. Dinosaur. We don't know what we're going to do with that. Here's the really scary thing. I know everybody will find this absolutely frightening. Yes, it's scary. I don't ever want to see one of these. Never again. Let's see what we can do with it. It is rather massive and top heavy. So let's see if we can cut this sucker down with any kind of speed. I doubt it. I like this little tool for the smaller stuff, but I don't know. I may need to switch over to the big one and get it done in like 30 seconds instead of an hour and a half. I should put one of the longer blades in this thing. How far are we? Are we very far off? We want to keep his fingers. Getting down to the wire. Last bit's always a pain in the ass with everything. All right, Stumpy and Brad Shorty. That should ride pretty good without tipping the car over. Probably take that to the rotary grinder, level it up a little bit, or run it across some sandpaper. Little prep for the next car. That is absolutely horrifying. Okay, what else do we have in the box? Okay, got that bag of darker persuasion babies. I still need to get some white babies, or I'm going to have to paint some of these Caucasian. We want to cover all our bases. Got pumpkins, of course we always got pumpkins. I'm not quite sure what this is because I don't play the game. But this is supposed to be some sort of improvised bomb. It's kind of cool. Plunger, toilet plunger with a bomb on it. I don't keep up with those online games, so I wouldn't know. I don't have any money, therefore I cannot play that stuff. We'll put our prep up. Wheelbarrow, skeleton, and babies. What could possibly be done with that that would be so disgusting? We shall see. Lower half. Pitch it. All right. I'm going to show off my old goat. Haha. Everybody loves a little goat. I'm going to show off a couple of things that I made, maybe, possibly. Reach down here on the floor and stretch down and get it. Every once in a while, everything goes foobar on the track, you know. You know how that works. So I made a kill button. Stomp on it quick on the floor and everything goes dead. So that was a little addition to the track. I kind of like having it here. Get a crazy derail and can stomp on that and put a halt to everything. That is going to be a good roller. Okay, dude here. Rotate it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're going to have to just let these dry. And I'll be good to go. Alright. Now, next thing I got going on is my Athearn. I may not want to put it in that yet. I may want to have to wrestle with it on the table by itself. These can be a pain in the butt, but they're so wonderful to run. They're just quiet as can be. I got this one off eBay. Somebody put another motor in it, and since the shafts aren't as long as the original and they're a little bit fatter, old boy added some little pipe to go over the end. One end's better than the other, yeah. And then you put the rubber band over that. But the thing of it is it's a lot bigger than the original, so it changes the ratio. It makes it run even faster. Yeah, these things are pretty much racing trains, racing engines. They'll pull a good little bit as long as you've got nice bands on them. But, you know, look at this. After watching everybody on the internet, figured it out. The hair bands from Dollar Tree work wonderful. They fit right on there and nice, snug. And since they're not rubber, they tend to last a little longer. And here's 600 in a bag, $1.25. Yeah, it would last me the rest of my life and my children's lives. But this thing was made in like the early 1950s. It's old. I don't have a light on it. I was hoping to mount one of those high power LEDs in the the shell, and then you know, put a little rectifier in there and let it run off the power of the engine. I was wondering how I'd put it in there so I could take the shell off and not have to worry about the wires and all this thing. And well, I could put little bitty alligator clips on it and just clip one onto the frame, and then, you know, one onto the power lead, and then it'd be good to go. And that would work with the older Athearn with the original motor. This one here, I'll have to make a terminal for it to clip to, but it's about the quickest way I can think of doing it. It's just, you know, little alligator clips, clip, clip. You know, it's not going to move once it's in there. But I really love these things. They're just old as the hills. It's like, what, 70 years old, and they run like a dream. The only problem with them is with the rubber bands, it takes a second for it to take off, and when it does take off, it takes off with a jerk. So you have to make sure your couplers are good and everything like that, or you'll leave half your train behind. But you know, you get good fresh bands on it, and make sure your drive wheels aren't slipping. And these things will do pretty good. They'll pull pretty good. Yeah, I like the Athearns. I don't know much about these things. I'm sticking with the cheap ones because, you know, that's all I can afford, are these broken ones, and fix them. But I love it. Yeah, it surprised me. I bought this thing up, you know, of course, they always say untested, and that usually means it does not run. And but you know, sometimes you actually get a deal, and untested, well, means they didn't really want to do anything with it. And a lot of times, some of these, all you wind up having to do is clean the contacts and a little lube to loosen up, because they've sat, loosen up all the crap inside, give it a good cleaning, and then they go. And the older motors that aren't sealed, you just clean the contacts and everything. A lot of people use the fiberglass brushes. I don't have one yet. I really don't know how well they work. I'm sure they work wonderful since it's fiberglass brush. But what I use is a plain old pencil eraser. I've used erasers on contacts for years, and it seems to work well, and it doesn't scratch the metal. You just might have to rub a little bit more, but you know you're not going to damage anything. Eventually, I'm going to buy one of those brushes and see how well they work. But you know, fiberglass is abrasive, and a rubber eraser, you know, it's definitely going to be easy on these old things. Well, you know what time it is? That's right. It is 4:20. I'd like to put a background music or something, but I really don't understand the copyright stuff on YouTube. I did post a video with a commentary in it, and YouTube did catch it, and it quoted it for me, but you know, it wasn't a you did something bad kind of thing, because it was open source and all that. But I really like to know exactly what I can and can't do, because you know, I see these guys playing crazy stuff like Led Zeppelin and stuff while they're doing their videos. I don't need anything quite that, you know, popular. And I look through some of the silliness that they have, you know, they provide for free, and it's okay, but nothing to write home about. Maybe I should be like John Carpenter and get my bass and just boom, 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 boom. You know, some silliness in the background. That takes too much time away from the play. I love the play. And I love the way these things are made. I mean, you take the bands off, and there go your trucks. Whee! But I'll tell you, you take one of these things apart, and you've definitely got your hands full when you're putting it back together, because they are kind of tricky. And of course, you have to make sure your insulators are in correctly. And then to top it all off, once you're putting your bands on the shaft, You have to pay attention to which direction you are putting the rubber band on the shaft. I like to put it the opposite direction, that way I can run it opposite of all the other trains on the same track. And if I desire to, I can hit the switch and have a Gomez Adams moment and derail and crash. And that sucker is not done unscrewing yet. Come on, baby. Well, I don't need to necessarily unscrew it all, do I? Yeah, I'll leave that one. And what did I do with those bands? There they are. I didn't want to tear the bag open, so I poked a little hole in it. Yeah, these things work pretty good. I mean, they stay in there pretty tight. If they're too tight, the trucks can't, because phone's fussing at me. But they'll try to pull to whatever side that you've got the twist of the rubber band, you know, the side of the most tension. And I have noticed that some of these I can get away with just taking out one screw, replacing the band on that side, and then taking the other screw out. And I don't have to do the bumbly stuff in my hands. You just kind of leave one truck screw a little loose so it's got some slop, and then you can wiggle it a bit and then it'll come right out if you've got it loose enough. See? What's that sucker? Oh, it's not a little filthy. I'm not worried about that. Put that sucker back in there. Pop, there it is. And there you can put your insulating washer on there. This also, that one screw at a time, helps you keep from confusing the sides, because they'll only so much play with the wire, and if you don't get it in there right, it can short against the side of the frame. Bear with me, it's a long screw. Okay. Leave that a little loose until I decide where I want that terminal. Okay, and here's what I'm talking about. Okay, you've got the shaft here, and then you've got the rubber bands on there. You reach down there, you grab one of the rubber bands, and you can put it on the shaft either this way, okay, or you can put it on the shaft that way. And it completely reverses the direction. Okay, like I said, I like to put it on this way because it makes the train run opposite of all the others, and I get a kick out of that. Get this wire out of here. All right, where's our rubber band? Here it is. Right here. Put it over right. And put it on there. And there you go. See? It drives those wheels real good. Anyway, that's one side. I know I'm probably boring the hell out of everybody. But I'm having fun and I'm fixing something. And who knows, Somebody might not know how to do this, but I'm sure everybody does. There are 1,000 videos on how to do it. I'm not trying to show anybody how to do it. I'm just doing it while the camera's rolling. Because it's, hold on, what is it? Oh yeah, it's 420. Time to re-up. All right. Little green hit. Okay, insulating washer. You know, I've been indulging since I was a kid. I mean, my buddy Tony Rhodes finally decided to bring me in on being cool when I was right around 7th or 8th grade. And he was my best bud. Turned me on, and I haven't been away from it since. I mean, I was a little while I was in the military, but you know, I never have been a drinker. And I've always been one of those people that get, well, my son calls it my wild-eyed, crazy, mad scientist look. And then I'm off to the bench working on something and fixing something or inventing something. Oh yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one of these. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. All right, make sure that you put your insulating washer on after you put your terminal on there, or it's not going to do a thing for you. Some people get ahead of themselves, and some people really just don't understand basic principles of electricity. They just kind of copy what they see, and they don't really understand the principles. That's okay. I mean, some people aren't inclined, and I'm all for people being able to expand their horizons, but I just want them to understand. It's like people get these great big amplifiers for their antennas in their houses, and they've got a daisy chain of these amplifiers, and they think they're doing something, and they got crap antenna. I tell them, you can't amplify what you don't have to begin with. Okay, that one's there. All right, that's loose. See, it can go over there, and I don't want it to short against the frame when it turns one direction. So that's why I left that loose until I. See, because here with this one, I went and did it. Can't do that. Did I get it turned around? Is that what happened? I must have turned it around. I sure did. I turned that sucker around. Oh well. Let's pop her off there again. It's not going to be nothing bad. Pretty easy, really. I don't want to go through that hassle with those rubber bands again. But I'm probably going to have to. Yeah. Let's see. ID10T error. I'm going to have to make myself a spring hook out of a paper clip. I've got some in my toolbox, but I don't have any in my workbench tools. Sure would make things a lot easier. Anyway, note the direction of the rubber bands. You want them to be on there the same on each end of the motor, because if you don't, you'll be pulling against yourself. So pay attention to that. All right, what did I do with the other piece? There it is. All right. Rubber band man. Do 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 do. Rubber band man, get down. Do 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 do. All right. Whoops. See, they slip out real easy. That's why I need a spring hook. Get on there. I may have to put a little crazy glue on that shaft. Yeah, see? They're all the same direction. All right. Well, by all rights, that should do the trick. I would like to put it on the track, but I've got a train on there right now. I don't want to have to move the camera either. I'll just roll the train ahead a little bit. Yeah, this homemade controller, I really like it, but I wish I had a fast enough circuit breaker on it. I mean, the circuit breaker works, but you have to go real low or it won't blow quick enough. Yep, it's rolling the opposite direction, just the way I want it. And it is rolling. Yes. Oh, that thing runs so smooth. I love these old Athearns, these belt drives. I'm just a hopeless romantic when it comes to these things. I mean, there's no gears on them, and it's sweet. I'm all about simplicity. And these are about as simple as you can get. And they run so quiet. The cars make more noise than the engine does. And I really love them. I'm going to own 1,000 of these if I can. I really want one of those hustlers. I've got a couple of frames, and if I can ever make this last $50 of the month after the bills, fella's got a lot with some frames and some trucks, and I'm going to kludge together a motor. And I was wondering what I could do with one of these things, because if I did it right, I could shorten one, or I could make one even longer, because I've got a couple of frames, extra frames. And I like making these little monster Frankenstein engines. That one I got, I'm going to roll the tracks around here, train around the tracks again, and I'm going to pull one off. It was that tall boy Santa Fe, no, it was Rio Grande, excuse me. The tall boy Rio Grande I got in that last lot that was just a shell. Well, I had a bunch of these old crap cabooses that, and you could tell that they were just cheap as hell. And I had, just extra parts here and there. So what I did is I kludged a bottom on and, mounted some frame mounted couplers, KDs, and screws that fit in these massive holes on this, what is it, play something or other, play art chassis. It's got the weird trucks on the bottom, so they were like these massive holes. So I used massive screws, and it rolls really well on the tracks. It stays nice and balanced, considering it's made up of half a dozen different cars. But yeah, it rolls real great, stays on the tracks, and it's, you know, it's a tall boy. So that tickled me when that worked. And I've got a couple of junk cars out of the big wheel alley. These are off some of those cheap Christmas sets. Okay, but you know, I'm wanting some passenger cars, and these look pretty cool, and they're really close to the gauge. I mean, they're right there. This one here, I'm just gonna, you know, cut everything off the bottom, shear the bottom, and since it needs weight and there's no room for weight, I'm going to take one of these bottoms off of these busted cars with the weights in it. It's just the right length. Just the right length. I'll mount that sucker on it. I'm going to have me another passenger car. Yeah, it's cheap, it's cheesy, but it'll roll and I'll have fun with it. And that's all that matters, is I'll have fun with these things. But anyway, back to that eBay thing. Dude's got like 25 broken cars. Some of them are busted really bad and some of them are really good. But he's got two Athearn band drive frames and some buildings I'm not really interested in, but it's a good deal for all these broken cars. And then he said he would combine shipping, and he had a lot of 5 passenger cars, 3 of which were easily repaired and 2 which didn't have any of the bottom of the, you know, for the trucks to mount on and all that. They're just shells. But that would be like 3 more passenger cars, and they're all the same, so that would be cool. And I could always shift the shells onto the other passenger cars I have, and actually have a theme for one train. But I thought these looked cool, and I see them all the time up there at the outlet. And if I can mount, you know, trucks on these things and get them, and enough weight on them, get them to roll right, they do look pretty decent for what they are. I mean, you know, it's just junk, and that's all I've been rolling. But I'm enjoying myself with all this junk. So, you know, what does it matter? And the fact that I can make something out of nothing, or put something together out of crap that doesn't work, that tickles me even more. Because that's the things I like to do. Well, anyway, I'm going to end this. I want everybody to have a good 420. I'm going to have a little bliss. Thank you.